It is time to kick off La Traviesa in National City in fashion, folks, and we are starting with singles action between two men who know each other, Barry Sweeney, like the back of their hand. True enemies is what we would call them, as JT Thorne will take on none other than Antonio Rivers. In the background between these two, it started off with a tag match at our inaugural event that JT Thorne got the pin over Antonio Rivers for. Later went on to the fatal four-way. Antonio Rivers gaining 2 falls, JT Thorne stealing the win from under his nose.
He has been a splinter under the fingernail of pretty much everybody down here in San Diego. And on top of that, he has been able to back it up hook or by crook, especially crook.
You may not like the way he does it, but in the record books, all that matters are wins and losses. Whether it's underhanded, whether he does it the right way, it doesn't matter. The only thing JT Thorne cares about is a W in his book.
And on top of that, talk about Antonio Rivers, one of the most talented wrestlers, one half of the pump line. And our ground floor correspondents, perhaps, speaking on it more than I ever could.
No love lost. But when it comes to the San Diego faithful, San Diego homegrown, there is nobody better than Antonio Rivers. And of course, accompanied by Boa Silva for his entrance. They are one half of the pump line, but tonight it is singles action. It is not tag action. This is not one half of the pump line. This is the solution, Antonio Rivers. And he is in full effect tonight. And JT Thorne, especially with the guidance that Antonio Rivers has had these last couple months, has got to be on his best behavior tonight.
And on top of all that, Antonio Rivers, for everything that he's accomplished, a tag team mainstay, one of the most dynamic young talents, has only just turned 21 years old.
Wow.
He has got so many decades of a career ahead of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening bout will have a 15-minute time limit. One ball. Introduce to my left, fighting out of Napa Valley, weighing 186 pounds, representing West Coast Pro. This is JT
Talk about breaking in when you're young. Antonio Rivers has been doing this for, I believe, 3 years now. Starting at the young age of 18 years old, now 21. This man has shattered through roofs since starting off. Starting as a young rookie, going into the intern, and now tag team specialist. But against JT Thorne, a graduate of the West Coast Pro Academy, he's really going to have to be on his best behavior tonight.
Hold for hold, the tail of the tape is going to be very difficult to maintain. JT Thorne, take nothing away, is one of the most dynamic talents we have. But Antonio Rivers, we talked about the 3 years he's been in professional wrestling with 0 breaks. This guy has been hurt. This guy has done plenty. And he's also got that amateur background as well, as we see that beautiful maestro.
Again, both these men very technically proficient, as you're seeing it right now. Very catch-can wrestling to start off this match. And of course, standing in front of you, having the momentum, is none other than San Diego's own Antonio Rivers.
Talk about the pomp country. I think that folks here down in front of the Primal Compound have made it very clear how they feel about JT Thorne. Hard to argue against, but the skill speaks for itself. He's not just cranking that arm just for the sport of it. He's looking to break bones, tear ligaments, maintain his win streak.
JT Thorne has been on a roll, as we know, in West Coast Pro, but he's looking to continue that win streak here at Rising Star Wrestling. But can Antonio Rivers squeeze it out of him, as we see, getting him on the mat, looking for that 2 count. And now keeping on that right arm of JT Thorne.
And the thing about Antonio Rivers is that he can stay here all day. And if you want to turn it to second here, my man, he's going to meet you there. Antonio Rivers, along with Boa Silva.
Very proficient strikers. And my goodness, the chops are hot tonight. Courtesy to the chef. And Antonio Rivers now hitting the ropes. Oh, big crossbody.
Beautiful hook as well. And he is hardly even winded as we start off the first contest of the night. Maintaining control over JT Thorne here. Got to maintain that because you know this kind of guy is thinking with the same kind of gear he moves.
Big back elbow from Antonio Rivers, leading to the pump line elbow drop. Quick cover, hook of the leg, only a 2 count.
Excellent hooking of the leg as well. No lackadaisical pains from the solution, Antonio Rivers. Always hooking that leg, always getting high leverage on that shoulder along with his euros.
Very vicious euro. And now, a little bulldog knee combination going for the cover. Again, he is showing his skill on display. Antonio Rivers has been in the wrestling ring for the better part of, I would say, 7 days a week. This man eats, sleeps, breathes professional wrestling, and he has taken JT Thorne to the wheelhouse tonight, showing him that San Diego is his home. So you're looking for Cross Rivers.
Already, perhaps a Endor Goss. Oh, come on.
No, JT Thorne raking the eyes, and now throwing him straight head first into the turnbuckle.
That was right into a beautiful spine buster there. Plenty of height, plenty of leverage on that pin as well. Knocking the wind right out of the sails of Rivers.
From the heavens when Antonio Rivers, courtesy of JT Thorne, and now staying on the back is Thorne himself. Very cerebral. He understands he has put a target on the back of Antonio Rivers, and if he can chop him down, it might be all she wrote.
And on top of that, I know how the Rising Star faithful may feel about JT Thorne, and I'm not saying that it's unwarranted, but I will say he is one of the most, as you said, cerebral wrestlers here in Primal. There's a reason he has snaked away with wins, has not been the man to cost anyone his match, because he is thinking 3 steps ahead. He's looking to aggrandize himself, sure.
But now Antonio Rivers fighting on his back foot. But again, 1 chop to Antonio's 2 grounds the solution. He's really got to find something to get back into this match with, whether it be a strike, whether it be his fast lucha moves, whether it be going ground and pound on the mat as we're seeing right now.
They're just throwing soup bones out here. Strike first.
And just when we thought Antonio Rivers was back into it, a lariat from JT Thorne plants him right back on his ass.
And a good clothesline in professional wrestling has all that momentum going forward. That's even meaner because it's going forward and down. He's looking to take you down with him with a lariat like that.
And again, keeping the onslaught on the back of Antonio Rios, going for a power slam. Now, an elbow drop of his own. And you can see all of the momentum he had there, dropping all of his body weight onto the midsection of Antonio Rivers.
5 minutes into this contest, our opening contest, and as we have established with Rising Star, these time limits do matter. If every 15 minutes and there's no clear victor by win, submission, pinfall, what have you, this is going to be a draw, and I think that both of these men's egos would pay the price for that.
Especially JT Thorne, but right now he's just enjoying the punishment, relishing and taking everything he can out on Antonio Rivers. He believes he deserved those 2 wins. He deserves his top spot in Rising Star. Whether it be San Diego, his coast, West Coast, it doesn't matter. For JT Thorne, all he wants is victory, and of course, hopefully down the line for him, gold.
And as we established at the beginning of this program, the Rising Star Championship is up for grabs. If we're talking about win records, unfortunately, JT Thorne may have as good a case as anybody right now. While that match might be decided later tonight, talking about later down the line, he could very well be a challenger. Look at this!
Oh, looking to steal one of his own is Antonio Rivers. Only a 2 count, though. JT Thorne was able to get out of it, looking for a low kick, instead hitting the ropes.
O'Connor roll applied, deep cover.
2 there. Antonio Rivers almost had it, but JT Thorne with a pump kick. He might be out on his feet. No! Somehow Rivers is able to keep this fight going.
Talk about a sluggish kick out. I mean, you talk about that pump kick square to the jaw, knocked his lights out, flattened him in an instant. The fact that he's back on his feet taking this kind of punishment speaks to the temerity of Antonio Rivers right now. But of course, JT Thorne returning to the neck.
Just guillotining him over the second rope. Just spin on the members of the Rising Star faithful.
Let's not have fluids fly here. People out in San Diego, they don't play like that.
Hope you got your money's worth. Now in the ropes, JT Thorne able to evade it. Oh! Massive back elbow from Antonio Rivers.
And would you see something like that from anybody else? The answer is no. Pumping the brakes, swerving around the corner, meeting him with a huge forearm right across the throat.
Now looking to pump it up louder is none other than the Solution, as he has now kicked it in to second gear. Big clothesline, big European uppercut. And he's got him where he wants him.
Big John Woo drop kick. And the Euros continue.
Telling him to sit down, JT. Basement Euro.
Finally slid out of the ring with that. Now to the cover. Desperation.
Got to give it to JT Thorne. I really thought that one was it there.
Knocked the wrist tape right off of him, but this match continues as we creep toward the 10-minute mark.
Again, San Diego is pump line country. And Antonio Rivers is looking to go to the high-rent district.
But those steps are awfully sluggish, awfully timid. Right now, JT Thorne will be plodding as he gets back to his feet. This could be dangerous.
But oh no.
Euro of his own.
Stopping Antonio Rivers in his tracks. Oh, big right hands.
And right now, on the top of the turnbuckles.
Precarious position. What is he looking for?
Draped in that fireman's carry. This could be dangerous. Antonio Rivers holding on for dear life.
Doing everything he can. The grip is broken, though. Trying to fight out of it. If JT Thorne can get out of this corner, it might be lethal.
Slowly climbing to the top. No! Big super kick.
And that has sent Antonio Rivers to the ground, exactly where JT Thorne wants him in the fireman's carry position. Looking to drop him right in the middle of the ring.
Valley driver.
So much momentum with that. Oh! But 2.99. There is no quit in the Solution. Antonio Rivers.
Talk about the Solution. We're seeing that the answers are becoming far less clear for JT Thorne. I'm inclined to agree with our Rising Star faithful. This is awesome for our opening contest.
That is right. We are only match one, folks. And these two are killing it. He's got him in. Cross Rivers!
Right on top of his head. That's got to be it.
Oh!
Whoa, right into that.
But no! Straight into the armbar.
They are looking for the Fujiwara, perhaps. No.
No sliding out of it is JT Thorne. Getting one of his own.
Fujiwara, middle of the ring. He snaked down. He was looking at that hold. Right now, dangerous position. He's got a top of the kick into those ropes.
JT Thorne was able to transition into his own. And now, look at that torque of the arm. Looking to break the left arm of Antonio Rivers. If he wants to keep his pro wrestling career going, he might have to tap here.
JT Thorne bridges one more time like that. He can snap his arm. Releasing the hold, but only to bring him back into the middle. Cinching in one out.
Oh, no able to roll out of it. It was Antonio Rivers getting one of his own. And that is deep, folks. Transition into transition. And the tap from JT.
That could have broken JT Thorne's arm. It certainly broken his win streak.
JT Thorne looked to not be a problem for the Solution, Antonio Rivers, as he gets his win back here at Rising Star.
Incredible opening contest. Whoa, 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 hold on. We might not be done yet. We've been testy all night. Show of respect can go a long way for this locker room.
Extending the hand is Antonio Rivers saying, thank you for coming to San Diego. Sorry I didn't get the win, but you got my respect.
And by the way, you're lucky you can still shake it rather than break it. Come on.
Just spit it on him, and of course, Rivers looking to retaliate. Leave it to JT Thorne to ruin a good moment.
You know, if he had that much in him in that match, maybe you'd have a fighting chance here. All the same, that was our first opening contest of the night. Attitudes and tensions are flying high, folks. I don't know, this could be anybody's game by the end of the night.
Might have to check in on Antonio Rivers and JT Thorne there in the back. Doesn't seem like we're done with those two. But we are heading to our next match. Singles action, that is right. It is none other than Jake Mays going against the returning Robin Shaw. So stick with us.